Today we're going to take a look at a new staging yard on my N-scale layout. I call it the Pocatello Subdivision. That's coming right up. Hi, I'm Roy Smith. Over the past month, I've been able to extend the benchwork for the Pocatello Subdivision on my layout. I'd like to show you the progress I've made. But for this to make any sense, I need to first orient you on a map. The green circle on this Union Pacific map shows you where the Pocatello subdivision is located. The subdivision stretches some 200 miles from Granger, Wyoming to Pocatello, Idaho. And on this map, the dashed lines show you portions of the Union Pacific's Evanston and Pocatello subdivisions, which I am modeling. The Evanston subdivision extends from Green River, Wyoming, where the blue dot appears, west through Granger, and then on west through Evanston and beyond to Ogden, Utah. Meanwhile, the Pocatello subdivision extends from Granger, where you see a red dot, northwest to Pocatello, Idaho. This is my track plan. The layout essentially fills a spare bedroom measuring 10 feet by 12 feet. The tracks depicted in red show the part of my layout that I am currently working on. In effect, the Pocatello sub of my layout is a staging yard. I will scenic it lightly and perhaps install a photo backdrop. But as I said, it mainly serves as a staging yard from which to run trains into Evanston and Green River. In my opinion, staging yards don't have to be hidden. They can be visible and they definitely should be accessible. They don't even have to be built under the layout, such as my main staging yard below Green River is. So this is what the Pocatello subdivision on my layout looked like for nearly a year. I built this first phase of the subdivision nearly a year ago, back in April of 2017. As you can see, it consisted of a shelf 3.5 feet long, extending from the existing benchwork to the corner of my train room. I supported this shelf with very strong L brackets. But at that point, I stopped working on the Pocatello sub because I couldn't decide what to do about the closet door. I use the closet for storing Christmas decorations, suitcases, and other stuff, and occasionally I need access to the closet. Any further extension of the subdivision would block the door, and I couldn't decide whether to build a swing bridge, a drop-down bridge, a lift-up bridge, or a lift-out bridge in front of the door. So I ended up doing nothing for a long time. But a month ago, Jerry Smith, one of my subscribers, came upon the first video that I uploaded about the Pocatello sub back in May of last year. After watching that video, Jerry commented in part, "If you want to use the Pocatello merely to add traffic to the Evanston, it would be enough to simply add to the staging by continuing the shelf across the closet door. That extension wouldn't need to be elaborate, just a removable shelf put in place whenever operating the layout." Thanks for your comment, Jerry. Your comment got me working on the Pocatello sub again. In particular, Jerry's suggestion that I just keep it simple and build a removable lift-out bridge in front of the closet door made sense to me. Keep it simple. That was good advice, and it was what I needed to hear. So it's been about a month since Jerry posted his comment, and I'd like to show you what I've done since then. First, let me show you what the subdivision looks like now, and then I'll show you how I built it. It's 8 inches wide and extends nearly 9 feet from the same corner where my work ended last April. The benchwork isn't done, but I've made some good progress on it, and as you will see in a moment, there is a lift-out bridge in front of that closet door. Now let me show you how I built it. This is what that area of my train room looked like in February after I bought some of the lumber that I needed for the project, but before I started to put it together. And here you can see that I've started to build the benchwork. I again used those very strong L brackets to support the benchwork. My goal was to keep the construction of the benchwork as simple as possible because benchwork construction becomes more challenging as you get older. I decided that it would be best to cut out the sections for the lift-out bridge later on. Here I've begun to install the 1/2 inch plywood sub-road bed, and I've cut out the section for the lift-out bridge. The bridge is 3 feet long. I decided to use carriage bolts to hold the lift-out bridge firmly in place. I can easily pop the bolts out of their holes when I want to remove the bridge, and I can use wing nuts to secure the bolts in place. So here's the benchwork with the plywood installed from end to end. And here I'm beginning to lay some track, at least temporarily, to see how well it would fit. I just love the way Cato Unitrack snaps together. In this area, I will need to install some kind of crossover so that trains from any one of the 4 staging tracks can go either to Green River or to Evanston. Installing this crossover will also have the effect of creating a Y that will allow me to turn engines around. I had to use various radii of Cato Unitrack to achieve this track arrangement, so I kept a copy of the track plan in front of me as I put the track together in this area. I still haven't decided what to do about the track where it crosses the cuts for the bridge. I could cut the track with the Dremel tool, or I could use a variety of small track pieces that Cato makes to fit the track right up to the edge of the cuts for the bridge with no rail joiners. Or I could extend the track a bit beyond the ends of the bridge with no rail joiners so that the bridge can be lifted up and out easily. Over here at the end of the tracks, I can use some of those same small pieces of Cato Unitrack to extend the tracks a little further. But I can't go much further with the benchwork because of the room door, unless I build another bridge of some kind, and that probably won't happen anytime soon. Okay, let's go on over to the junction at Granger, Wyoming. As you see here, the Evanston Subdivision main line continues westward, and the Y leading to the Pocatello Sub connects to it. An unfinished highway bridge helps to hide the hole in the scenic divider through which the Pocatello Sub passes. I can also plant a few trees here to help hide the hole in the scenic divider, but not many of them because remember, there aren't a lot of trees growing in this semi-arid terrain. Okay, let's run a tank car train from Green River to the Pocatello Sub. Here our train crosses Green River, and at Granger Junction, 30 miles west of Green River, the train enters the Pocatello Sub. Now our train passes through the backdrop. And it continues onto one of the 4 tracks at the Pocatello Sub. Each track can hold trains with 15 to 18 cars headed up by 2 diesels, which is the normal length of trains on my layout. Again, this is a stub-ended staging yard. I could double-end the yard by installing turnouts at this end of the yard as well, but that would significantly reduce the number of cars that each track could hold. As it is, arriving diesels become trapped. I can move them manually to the other end of the train, or I could build a separate diesel storage track at the throat of the yard. I'll have to let you know later on what I decide to do. I feel that staging yards are one of the most important features on our layouts, but we never seem to have enough space for all of the staging tracks that we need. In a future video, I will show you how trains from Pocatello Staging operate on my layout. Well, I hope you enjoyed this visit to the Pocatello Subdivision. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe if this is your first time here, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. And leave any comments you may have down below. I read all of them and I respond to all of them as soon as I can. I'd like to thank you for watching. Until next time, happy railroading. I will see you soon.